Hi, good evening everyone. How are you all today? Now this is another video which it comes after another one very similar to it. Now this is about being fair to Indian women in Malaysian Indian society. Now look, there are some Indian men, okay, especially the very educated ones, the very affluent ones, very downright rich, who believe that they should only have a wife who is not only good looking, pleasant, beautiful, whatever, sexy, but she must be highly educated, either tertiary qualified or professionally qualified. And here's the fun part, she must be willing to give up her career, sit down in the house, give birth to the children, look after them, look after the house, go and do all the shopping and run the house, while our friend goes off to work. So, very macho man. He's one heck of a man. Wherever he goes, people know he's macho man until one bloody day he meets his downfall. Now, the problem here is, in some cases, these guys will tell the girl not to go to work, to give up her job after they get married, not before. So it's best if the girls tell these fellows, any fellow for that matter, that I want to work. She has to decide properly that she doesn't want to work after getting married, then that is fine. Okay, if she regrets it later, that's her problem, her fault. But if she is coerced after getting married, either by being threatened, or I'll divorce you, or you won't get anything, or I'll ruin your name, which is rubbish. Divorce is so commonplace and rampant today in the whole of Malaysia and throughout the world. And I will even seek monetary compensation from you. Well, I like to see him do that. And threaten her and say, I'll spoil your name. Or he'll tell, my darling, I love you, please, but please, for the love of me, I give you all kinds of things. I give you a beautiful house. I put a house in your name. I'll give you cars, jewelry, blah, blah, blah. Well, if she really wants to quit her job and stay at home, then that's fine. She can do so. But if she is coerced, then that is wrong. If he is anyway a gentleman, he will tell her before getting married, I want you to do this. Or she can tell him, I want to stay at home after getting married. What do you think? So it's up to him then to decide whether he wants her to sit at home or go to work. Now look, we don't just get ourselves educated and get ourselves into good jobs for the sole reason of looking after ourselves and making ourselves affluent and whatnot, or to get married. We also work for our families. Not for our in-laws, but for our own parents, who will be then retired. We may have siblings who need help. Sometimes parents fall sick. They need a lot of medical care and it's expensive. They're also working for their families. They can't just depend on the husband to support everything. Okay? She has to go to work. Now what's the point of being educated? Might as well get married after school. Get a simple job somewhere, get married. Okay, I mean that's fine, that's her wish. But what I'm hitting at is that some girls are forced to do so, either by the husband to be, by his family, and even her family, who tell it's our tradition. Cobblers. You're thinking about India back by 1000 BC, 10,000 BC. This is a very modern age. You have to work for the sole reason it is an economic need. You have to. There is no choice. A poor girl has to go and work. But if she's coerced into sitting at home, then that is wrong. Legal action should be taken against that guy. Because I know one case where she actually quit her job. I don't know whether the husband forced her or he wants to persuade her and seduce her with all his wealth and trappings. And the idiot is sitting at home and now she regrets it. And she's taking it out on her family members and everybody, but she can't do anything to her husband's people because the husband will not allow it. He's just too powerful. He's the cash dispenser for her. It is always good that a woman works, I tell you, because She has to help people. She has to also help support the husband. If they both are not doing very well, then she has to support the family they created. And she also to help her parents, sometimes also help his parents. It's an economic need. Now, if she's coerced, it's wrong. If she's doing willingly, fine. But my warning to all girls, all right, and also to any guys listening to watching this video and who think I want a wife who's educated, I'm going to sit at home. Girls, you better decide properly whether you want to pursue your career. Okay, get married, but the husband says, yeah, you continue your career. Okay, you continue. Or do you want to sit down at home? You have to decide properly. But you make sure you tell him before you get married to him. That's important. If he asks you or doesn't ask you, he must know. You must decide. And another thing, if you're highly educated, whose money was it? If it's your parents' money, you have to also pay them back, in somehow, with love, with care, even with money. So think carefully. Gentlemen, if you are proper men, you won't coerce that poor girl. Especially after getting married, you drop the thing on her, subject on her. I want you to sit down in the house because I am macho man. I will go out and earn the money. You sit down in the house and give birth to babies and look after them. Bollocks. Cobblers. So, my advice to girls is, please think carefully and do so. Nowadays, women are capable of even walking out of their marriage. 10 years, 20 years, she can just walk out. Why? They're financially independent. And now, even she can find another man. Isn't it? You mean to say your husband's only fellow in your life. You could meet another man and you may want to walk out of the marriage because maybe the marriage is not good. He's a useless character. And you find someone else better, who's kinder to you, better to you. You may want to leave him. I mean, leave this man, your husband. And actually, to macho men who think I want a wife who's going to sit down at home and give birth to babies and be a loyal, good little housefrau, little tangichi or a ladiki. All Indians, I think, have a bloody problem. Whether we are Punjabis, whether we are Tamils, whether we are Malayalis, whether we are Telugus, whether we are Gujaratis, whether we are Bengalis, the whole gym bang. There are such blokes. I'm not saying all of you all are like that. All the guys are like that. No. There are a lot of nice guys around. But there are also these idiots. These macho men, very affluent, stylish. If she's, after being so highly educated, sits down in the house and becomes a housewife. Now, what if something happens to him? What if he falls terminally ill? Suppose he has a stroke from the neck downwards, he can't work. Or he decides he's had enough of the marriage, it's not a happy marriage, he wants to walk out of the marriage, he walks out. Then she has to go to the lawyers, get the divorce papers done, she has to file for alimony, for child support for herself. Now what's going to happen? You see? Some women have actually wound up being divorced without a penny. But luckily, they're educated, so they can fend for themselves, fend for their children. Even if the husband gives money, she also has money of her own. You see? And to those macho guys who think, I want a housewife, and you're going to force her, not she doing it willingly, but doing it unwillingly. What if she decides to walk out on you? She meets some other guy who's perfectly capable of looking after her. You think, okay, use your brain. So the bottom line is this. You girls have to choose properly. After so much education, coming up in a career, you want to give up your job to stay at the house. Now don't think because you're going to marry a millionaire, suppose he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, that sitting in the house is a fine thing. These guys will not only have you as the only woman he's going to be with, he'll probably have one or two mistresses on the side. He may decide to dump you for somebody younger. So use your brain. Just because the fellow's got loads of cash, please, he's not a walking ATM machine, you know. That guy could leave you. And what are you going to do at that time? He managed to get lawyers who are so good that they leave you with zero money or a very, very small alimony. What's going to happen to you? Can you stand on your own? What about those poor children? Hey, what about your family, man? Your parents, your siblings? So, I think you should be very careful. Gentlemen, let her decide. Tell her, if you want her to be a housewife, tell her. If she says yes, okay. If she says no, okay. You don't marry her. Let her go find someone else. Let her do what she wants. No problem. Okay? If you look at the divorce rate today, it's alarming. Whether it's arranged marriage or love marriage, it's the same thing. Okay? Now, I'm not going to comment about the other communities in Malaysia, the Chinese, the Malays, and the Kadazans and Ibans and the Eurasians. I think those of you are from those communities watching, well, I don't know what's going on in your community. Perhaps you can tell me, and I'll be better informed. But this video is particularly directed towards Indians, men and women, especially the younger crowd, those now in their 20s, and or those who are now studying for professional or tertiary education. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments. Please leave comments. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.